And welcome to the Bible Quiz Fellowship preview show. And now I guess it's not a preview anymore, it's actually the national tournament show.
We're going.
Thursday is in the books.
Yep.
Takeaways, gentlemen?
Takeaway for today, well, I would have to say that anything can happen. I mean, there was a quiz today that I saw the results of that I literally couldn't believe. It was a quiz where there were three teams. Well, that usually happens a lot, but it was
more.
It was Round, it was Accelerate, and Moxie in the same quiz. Now, who do you think won that quiz, guys?
Moxie?
Moxie.
Actually, no. It was Round.
Wow.
Round won the quiz.
That's crazy.
So I'm not going to get into the scores, but I'm just going to say that Round won that quiz, and Moxie and Accelerate did not win that quiz. So there are upsets galore in this tournament. So
Anything can happen.
Yep. Well, my takeaway for the day, every season we go in and we say, okay, who's going to be the team to beat this season? And a lot of the time it's not even clear after Thursday, but usually the round robin sorts it out. Well, I think it's clear that Riven's the team to beat this year. They've had a really good record, lots of good quizzes, beat some top teams, beat Sundown, beat Revelation. Yeah.
One thing that I have, my kind of takeaway from today is lots of solid quizzing all around. There wasn't a whole lot of knowledge errors in the quizzes I was in, and I had some up and down teams, but overall, good solid knowledge all the way around. And what I can see is that there are a lot of really good quizzers on some teams that may not finish that high that I think could compete with any team, really. So a lot of those teams have some quizzers that are carrying them, and that's cool. That's a good selection. Any quiz you go in this tournament, you're going to see some good quizzing. I think that's true. All right, let's talk about who was right and who was wrong. So yesterday we looked at spotlight quizzes and we picked winners for those quizzes. I had the first one. I had Messengers, Warriors, and Spurs. And I listed all these reasons that Warriors had done well in tournaments and that they were quizzing together and they'd been an experienced team. And then I picked Messengers, and Warriors won that quiz pretty handily. So anyway, I was wrong. I apparently need to listen to myself more as well. So.
Well, I actually did a spotlight quiz and felt pretty good about it going in. I did the Revelation by Faith and Zealous spotlight quiz. That was on Quiz 4, Site 4 this morning. And actually, my team had a bye that time, so we were able to go in and watch part of that quiz. We watched the first half, and it was very close first half. I think it was just 20 points separating first and second, and 20 points separating second and third. So I wasn't able to stick around for the full result, but I found out later that things went rather well for my predictions, because the final score in that quiz was Revelation 130, who I picked to win, Zealous with 110, who got second, who I also picked to win.
With that score,
and By Faith 70, taking third. And that was also the score that I picked as well. So I was only off on Revelation's score.
picking 2 out of the 3 scores, it's kind of scary.
Yep.
It's actually kind of scary.
Well, when I make preparations for this type of thing and actually write it down, I guess I do all right.
Apparently I prepared as well because I picked Accelerate, Unashamed, and Clay, and Clay did win that quiz. I almost, was doubting myself a little bit there because Accelerate I know is a fantastic quiz, and Unashamed has beaten some really good teams today as well. But Clay did pull it off, so props to them.
Hey, I heard that Clay beat Riven today. Did you hear that?
And
Yep.
Unashamed beat Revelation. So
Yeah, lots of upsets
good
today. And Warriors, man, they look good.
Yes.
I saw them in the quiz, and plus one in that quiz. They look good. They look like a solid team. All right, let's turn to the next day's worth of quizzing. Look at a couple spotlight quizzes. We're beginning with Nate. So Nate, take it away.
I suppose it's only proper that they start with me for the spotlight quiz after a successful Thursday spotlight quiz prediction. This particular spotlight quiz for tomorrow, Friday, is the 6th quiz of the day in Site 4, and then it's Moxie, Clay, and Warriors. We were just talking about Clay and how well they've done so far. Unfortunately, I made this prediction for the spotlight quiz several days in advance, not knowing how Clay was going to do so far. But as we said earlier, anything can happen. And Warriors has been really strong this year too, so far. For this quiz, I picked Moxie to win the quiz actually with 150 points. Warriors taking second with 80 points, and Clay finishing in third with 50 points. And my reasonings for that is that I believe Moxie will win this quiz due to taking the majority of the questions. I think a lot of the Summit teams do a very efficient, or I guess it's not really that efficient, but they do a great job of taking a lot of questions, and in the quiz they dominate the questions. And I believe that in the past few tournaments, Moxie has averaged 20 points or more for 6 out of their 7 quizzers, and that's pretty much what a top team needs to do to be successful.
And especially if you plan on dominating.
Yeah.
You gotta get those bonuses.
Yep, and they also average around 8 errors per quiz as a team. So if you're thinking if they're averaging about 20 points a quiz at least for 6 quizzers, plus they're getting 8 errors as a team, that's going to be at least 15 to 20 questions right there in a quiz. So that's quite a high percentage of the total questions in a quiz. If they keep that up, then if they get them mostly right, then they're going to win a lot of their quizzes. Again, the Phillips brothers, as we've mentioned in the past, I think they're going to do well in this quiz. I think they're the leaders on the team. It's Noah and Enoch on that team. So I think just because of that, I think they have a few people with all the material that's going to help them with their timing. Warriors will take second, I believe, in this quiz because they do a pretty good job so far with their error control. I think with Emma Shirk on their team, she's pretty much their leader. Lori does a great job as well with getting questions. I think if they do keep their errors under control, they will get by through this quiz, and they might even win this quiz, but I'm going to say they're going to be getting second in this quiz. Clay in this quiz, I think they'll be taking third. I think with all the questions that will be taken up by Moxie in this quiz, they'll be fighting to catch up, and I think outside of Darren Ryder, I think he's got a really good chance of being top quizzer this year, but I think he'll get his points, but I'm a little concerned about the rest of the team and getting their points in this quiz. So that's my prediction. We've got Moxie, Warriors, and then Clay.
Sounds great. And that's Quiz 6, Site 4, if you want to check it out.
I'm going to be spotlighting a quiz, Riven by Faith and Redemption against each other from Summit, St. Louis Teens for Christ, and Midland. I was about to say Messengers from from Midland. So I'm going to predict the winner right ahead. Go out and say it here on a limb. Riven's going to win this quiz. I think it's not going to be close from what I've seen. The Price siblings, I believe, have never been to nationals before. They're fantastic quizzers, all of them. At their regional tournaments, they've dominated in the past.
Material too.
And yeah, all of them, or
I think 3 or 4 of them do.
yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, I've heard a rumor that all 3 Prices have all the material. I know at least a couple of them do. So that's Eli, Jeremiah, and Lizzie. And we quizzed them today. They pretty much smoked us with all of that coverage, and the rest of the team contributing. Maggie, of course, quizzing out, and I think she's been doing that pretty consistently all day today. So like I said, I mentioned Riven before. I think they're the team to beat. That's why. Just so much depth. By Faith, though, sticking with the sibling groups, you've got the Kimball brothers, Isaac and Lucas. And I think earlier in some tournaments, I saw that just those 2 seemed to be contributing, and I wasn't seeing much from the rest of the team. And I was like, oh, where's By Faith going to be this year? But then we quizzed them today, and I saw all quizzers contributing, winning jumps, most of them getting right. They got it, 5 or 6 quizzers answering correctly. That might be tough to do against Riven, but I think they're going to definitely keep it interesting and keep it a close quiz at least through the first half for sure. Even if Riven pulls away a little later. Redemption, I think, is a team that can definitely win jumps and really what they can do is spark competition between the other 2 top teams. So if they can get pace going early in the quiz that Riven and By Faith are going to bite on, especially if they have a quizmaster who reads quickly and stops quickly, then you could get Riven and By Faith into air trouble, and Redemption can just kind of sit back, let them fight it out, and then come in with a few points here and there. I don't think they're going to win, but definitely they'll make it a competitive quiz for both other teams.
And they can certainly look around for inspiration.
Absolutely.
Like, you can be overmatched in a quiz.
Anything can happen.
Material knowledge coverage wise, and if you quiz well with discipline with the right quiz master, you can make it happen. Yeah.
For sure.
Good. That quiz is quiz 9, site 11 that Austin just talked about, and so my quiz is quiz 10, site 5. So these two quizzes we're talking about happen at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, pick up some great quizzes. My quiz is Team World Gold versus Clay versus CB Squared. So Clay again featuring one of our highlight quizzes, meaning that Clay's been facing a tough schedule. They've been facing some tough teams in their schedule and doing well. So Team World Gold is from out east where I am, and I can say that it's great to see Team World really making a comeback. Their team has a lot of potential, a lot of growth going on there, a lot of good material coverage. Kind of flying under the radar a little bit, but don't look past them. They're the kind of team that can hang around the quiz and really make a move if the timing's right. And Clay has looked fantastic today. I heard from Riven that Darren Ryder quizzed out in 5 of the first 7 questions of the quiz he had against Riven. So that's saying something about Darren Ryder. And then CB Square we know has Jeremiah Bicknees as well as the rest of the team. We quizzed Fisherman from Iowa TFC today, and they were outstanding, and I was like, oh man, CB Square must be real good. So I think this is going to be a competitive quiz. I'm going to pick Clay to win. I think Clay has shown today they have a lot of depth and working together as a team. They should do well, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised, wouldn't be shocked to see any of those 3 teams win, especially CB Squared, and to see Team World Gold make a play with the right quiz master and some good discipline. That could happen too.
Well, we got Clay losing here and Clay winning here, so we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah,
right.
Team World could steal this one. It's very possible, right?
All right, nice. All right, so anything that you guys want to say about tomorrow? I'm looking forward to it. You know, we had 10 quizzes today, so we get 9 tomorrow, so that'll be nice to have an extra bye. But
yeah, it went the other way for us. We got just 9 quizzes today, so.
Well, we had 3 buys today, which means we have 11 quizzes tomorrow.
Wow!
So we'll be quizzing as much as we can, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to score more total points tomorrow than we did today.
That's good.
That's our goal.
I was like waiting for that. Then we did all season
with 3 extra quizzes. That's what you're saying? Okay.
More total points. That's our goal.
That's a good goal. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, quizzing is great. I think that's why we're here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jesus is great. Quizzing is great. All right. Finally, our favorite.
Stay in hotels.
Well, I got a quick thought here. On Friday, Thursday, usually everybody's roaring to go, and you've got all this energy that you've been building up for nationals, and then you're super excited, adrenaline, maybe some coffee, and you maybe stay up a little bit too late Thursday night, get up Friday morning, second morning in a row getting up early. Who's going to outlast the other teams on Friday? That's where the round robin is made. You can have a good record on Thursday and you can blow it on Friday. So whoever gets some good sleep, I think, is going to be sitting pretty well for tomorrow.
Yeah, losing focus on Friday, very common. Yeah. All right, everyone's favorite segment, meme of the day, Nate.
Yep, I have a meme right here. Let me just pull it up again real quick. I was trying to find some inspiration from some of the quizzing that I'd seen today. There were several situations in quizzes where there were not a lot of words given because of certain material coming up, and I just thought that this was a good example of that. We've got our friend the skeleton, and he's sitting in a quiz type chair, and he's saying, "I'll just wait here for a word on the 20s." So that's the meme of the day.
My sister feels you on that. she's with you on that. Yep. All right. Well, all the best to those of you who are jumping on the 20s or any other chapters in Luke. We can't wait to talk about your accomplishments tomorrow. And we'll do our usual yearly preview of the selections of the Saturday bracket. We'll break down each quiz and make a prediction for each quiz. So don't miss that. See ya.